One of the most contentious ice cream-related questions ever was probably posed by Savannah Chrisley in a recent Instagram Stories poll. Put vanilla versus chocolate out of your mind. You might be surprised by the Chrisley Knows Best Star's response to a question regarding appropriate ice cream cutlery. Chase Chrisley's funny drags. Chrisley Knows Best frequently shares contentious questions, such as Savannah's driving skills polls, on her Instagram stories. She asked NASCAR in jest if she might drive for them before a recent auto race. She asked, "Are you certain you don't want me driving?" Her brother Chase had a quick response, but the giant of auto racing never replied. Chase says no one ever wants his sister to be a driver. "We are positive you don't need to be driving anything," he joked in the post's comments. He wasn't done making fun of his sister either. "Not even a golf cart," was the zinger he added when he returned. The show's viewers enjoyed the sibling rivalry, and it was all in good humor. "You mean brothers?" The cosmetics expert's ice cream query will undoubtedly spark more debate than her driving abilities. Did Savannah Chrisley's controversial opinion just start an ice cream war? On a hot summer day, nothing beats an ice cream treat. Take a spoon from the drawer and remove the carton from the freezer. However, Savannah Chrisley prefers another tool over the spoon: a fork. Regarding a big debate she was having with a buddy, she shared a poll on her Instagram stories. She also wanted the opinions of her social media followers. Is it better to use a fork or a spoon when eating ice cream? To observe the outcome, we selected spoon. It should come as no surprise that most poll chose the conventional utensil. Fork was selected by just 4% of people who chose the Chrisley Knows Best star. What are your thoughts? Is it better to eat ice cream with a fork or a spoon? While we're talking about it, what do you think about the perennial argument between chocolate and vanilla ice cream? This summer, viewers can anticipate seeing more of the Chrisley family on the USA Network. Earlier this year, Deadline revealed that Chrisley Knows Best, and growing up this summer, Chrisley will make a comeback with fresh seasons. Savannah Chrisley has never been one to follow anyone's expectations. Whether she is navigating family turmoil, sudden fame, or the everyday trials of growing into adulthood under public scrutiny, Savannah has remained remarkably self-aware. That self-awareness often turns into headlines, especially when she makes a statement that sounds humorous on the surface but carries a deeper truth underneath. Her recent comment about not being interested in being the big spoon is one of those moments, playful at first glance, but rich with meaning once you look closer. For Savannah, the idea of rejecting the big spoon role is less about a sleeping position and more about the message it sends about her personal boundaries, independence, and relationship expectations. It speaks to how she sees herself in a world that constantly tries to define her. People may laugh at the phrase or turn it into a lighthearted headline, but to understand Savannah is to understand why a statement like this reveals a much larger picture of who she is becoming. Savannah grew up in an environment where traditional gender roles and expectations were part of the household culture. Yet she also grew up in front of cameras, audiences, and fans who watched her evolve. That combination created a unique kind of pressure. Over time, she has learned how to push back against norms that do not align with her truth. The role of the big spoon is one of those norms, something that symbolizes emotional responsibility, caretaking, and a degree of vulnerability that Savannah has not always been comfortable offering so freely. It is not that Savannah avoids intimacy or connection. In fact, she has been open about her desire for meaningful relationships, but she has also been clear that vulnerability has to be earned, not assumed. Being the big spoon represents taking the lead, offering security, and physically surrounding someone with comfort. To Savannah, that role feels heavy at times, perhaps because she has spent so much of her young adulthood providing emotional support to her family in very real ways. For years, Savannah has navigated upheaval that many people will never experience. Her family's legal battles and the resulting emotional fallout forced her to mature faster than most people her age. She had to protect her younger siblings, stand strong for her parents, and maintain her public presence all at once. With all of that on her shoulders, it makes sense that she wants space in her personal relationships where she does not have to carry everything. The truth behind her comment is that Savannah wants balance. She wants a partner who can meet her where she is, someone who can match her strength, not depend on it as a substitute for their own. She does not want to become the pillar in every relationship dynamic, constantly absorbing the weight of another person's needs. Being the little spoon symbolizes something she rarely gets to experience: softness, rest, and the chance to let someone else take the lead. This desire reveals something important about Savannah's emotional journey. She has learned that independence does not mean carrying every burden alone. Strength does not mean never wanting comfort. And confidence does not cancel out the need for someone to step in, hold space, and bring steadiness into her life. Savannah has often expressed how difficult it is to trust people fully. Public relationships, breakups in the spotlight, and criticism from strangers have taught her to build emotional walls. The idea of being the little spoon means she is still willing to let someone inside those walls, but only if they prove they can hold that space without breaking it. Her approach to relationships is deeply shaped by observation. She has seen love endure, love collapse, love rebuild, and love unravel in ways that very few young adults witness so closely. She watched her parents navigate fame, pressure, and personal failings. She learned from their strengths and from their mistakes. In her own life, she refuses to repeat patterns that left others feeling diminished or dependent. She also knows that vulnerability requires discernment. Not everyone deserves access to your softest parts, and Savannah has learned that lesson more than once. For her, rejecting the symbolic big spoon role is a way of reclaiming agency. It lets her say, without apology, that she is done giving away more than she receives. This perspective has shaped her dating life in powerful ways. She no longer feels obligated to mold herself into what someone else wants. She is not trying to fit into a role for the sake of being agreeable or attractive. Savannah has reached a point where she wants a partner who respects her boundaries, understands her history, and sees her strength without taking advantage of it. The public often sees Savannah as confident and outspoken, but that confidence was built through trials. She has faced personal heartbreak, criticism, and the kind of scrutiny that can chip away at a young woman's identity. Yet she continues to grow sharper, more grounded, and more aligned with who she truly wants to be. Her comment about the spooning dynamic might seem playful, but it reflects her deeper philosophy. She wants to feel safe enough to relax. She wants a relationship that allows her to stop performing strength and simply exist within it. She wants a partner who offers support without being asked, who brings stability without expecting her to fix everything. In many ways, being the little spoon represents a kind of hope. Hope that she can build a relationship where she does not have to guard herself at all times. Hope that someone can hold space for her the same way she has held space for others. Hope that she can be tender without fear. Savannah's refusal to play the big spoon role highlights a truth many women relate to but rarely say aloud. Independence does not erase the desire to be cared for sometimes. For Savannah, choosing not to be the big spoon is a small rebellion against years of emotional responsibility. It is a declaration that she deserves rest, gentleness, and reciprocity. As she continues to build a life that reflects her values, Savannah remains unapologetically selective about the roles she accepts, both in relationships and in life. She has no interest in stepping into a position that feels symbolic of emotional labor she no longer wants to carry. Instead, she is making room for a kind of love that honors her complexity. Savannah Chrisley is not interested in being the big spoon because she is finally choosing herself, her comfort, her boundaries, her right to feel supported. And in a world that has demanded far too much from her far too soon, that choice is not only understandable, it is powerful.